is April 2026, and we got to bring in some of what's happening in the world into this
Yeah.
conversation. So, Sean, what's the Sister Cities Project?
No. Well, was the question what is Sister Cities Project, or are you asking me specifically about that and how we deal with that?
I'm asking both, whatever you
Okay.
choose to respond to, and I'm asking, I guess the question I'm asking is respond to whatever resonates with you, whatever, you want to say, and through the lens maybe of Sister Cities Project. And I know that that is very much about two different areas, neighborhoods talking to each other, but I see two different neighborhoods within a neighborhood that need to talk to each other. Maybe we can talk about some kind of thing we could do later, but that's what I'm putting on you.
No, I love that question. And here's so what resonates with me. So I did hear about that incident. Actually, we were contacted, about that.
Okay.
And what resonates with me about that is I believe this is the work of Sister Cities Project, which is, see, here's the problem. The problem is that when things like this happen, like I said earlier, what people do is their mind goes towards policies, rules. Like, we need to change rules. We need to change policies. We need to change, like, that's where everyone's mind goes. Like, there has to be this concrete fix or nothing will be fixed. And it's going to continue to happen. When you do that, you're jumping too far.
That's right.
Because really the problem is we're not talking. And even in this whole situation, as I was watching everything that was going on, I don't think they ever I didn't see like this conversation happening of communities or people talking together. I saw one side talking and another side talking.
And the school in the middle of it.
In the school, right. Everybody having their own conversation, right? And that's the problem. The problem is that no one said, and this is where so 6 years of Sister Cities Project, we are still fighting this battle of, you know what? When that happens, this is how I see it. Let Sister Cities Project come in and have a conversation with everyone involved, and let's be real about it. Let's have the courage to sit in the room and ask real questions about what's going on and why this is happening. That's the only way that then, because one of the things that we realized with Sister Cities Project is that we think because people are adults that they are aware of why people do things, right? Or that they are aware of the situation. They know that, this is like, also just to let you know, we do these conversations in areas like Solana Beach and Del Mar and Encinitas. And when we do them there, it usually tends to be, a mostly white audience. And then what we try to do is center Black voices so that, people can get that understanding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had one early on in Solana Beach, and the topic was redlining. And so if you can imagine, in this audience are people from Stanford, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had, people that were elected officials, like, from Carlsbad or different places like that. And what, to my astonishment, half the room had never heard of the practice. So if you can imagine what that means you have people in positions of power, people that are well-meaning adults, 50s, 60s, that don't realize that there are reasons behind why certain people are in certain situations or why they act in certain ways. If you don't have that understanding, that's at that age as an adult, I didn't know that existed. And I'm saying, this is me, Sister Cities Project, 5 years ago, going, wow, I can't believe that no one knows about this practice, right? And so all of our events, something like that comes up where you have people that they don't understand, they don't, and we just assume that they do. And so until you get them in the room and have them say, like, one other thing real quickly. So before I did Sister Cities Project, I had this thing in Solana Beach where I used to do race discussions. It was called Skin in the Game. And I remember the very first one, it was me, and I started it with this his name was Ron, a Japanese, he was Japanese American. And then it would the first one, it was like all 70-year-old white women, right? So that's what the group was. And there was like 12 70-year-old white women and me and Ron. And as I started talking about my growing up in Long Beach and how I had been pulled over by the like the first time I said that I had actually been pulled over by the police, women gasped. And I was like, wait, this, you guys didn't know that like it's actually a real thing that like Black people get pulled over for no reason
It's not just
whatsoever?
TV. It's not just movies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you didn't know that? You thought that was, yeah, we're playing around with about that. And so it's things like that where you realize we are not talking to each other.
That's right.
We're passing, we are conversating, but we're not really talking. So I believe that the solution to everything that's going on, like we actually wanted to do this thing where I had this little saying where I thought where instead of like Starbucks on every corner, we need a place where you can go have a discussion on every corner, because that's something that people need in their daily life to understand each other. So that's what I see the true problem is. Before we get to policy, one last story, and I'll shut up like But
I'm listening patiently.
yeah, I know. Of course you are. I know you are.
I'm listening patiently. They all
I'm,
are. We're
I'm
fine.
talking. I tell the story. I tell this a lot, which is if there is if there's a judge on a bench that has never had any Black friends, and a Black man comes walking into the courtroom, how do you think he's going to deal with that person? The opposite being a judge on the bench that has Black friends and understands Black people, whatever it is, how do you think he's going to deal with that person? And that's what we're dealing with in America, which is that situation. How you understand things is how you're going to deal with certain situations. And we have people in our government in places of power who have no idea the people that they are actually, making laws and policies and for. We need to somehow do something about that part.